Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe from LatinGeeks, and today we're going to be reviewing Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, this game, I love this game. It's one of the best games I've played, but I'm not going to hold back on the things I don't like. I am going to say the things that I do and I don't like, so don't be surprised if I do get I get really deep into it. So just expect it, because I'm not going to hold back on it. So other than that, guys, let's just get started with the review. So Horizon Zero Dawn. If you look up games that had a lot of hype and just blew everybody away for surpassing that hype and proving why it deserved it, Horizon Zero Dawn would probably be at the top of that list. But first, let's start with Guerrilla Games. Famous for developing Killzone, Guerrilla Games is relatively a small company, but Sony's backing them up, so it's no surprise that they're capable of doing like AAA games like Horizon. Horizon Zero Dawn was surprisingly not their first choice, believe it or not. It was considered a risky choice. You know, the idea of it, the story, it was considered risky by them. But to be honest, I mean, that's what makes this game so great. It pushes the boundaries of ideas, and it's a fresh start and a fresh feel to a genre that needed that refreshment. Now I'm going to get a little bit into the story. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but it's like a small rundown. It's not super, I'm not going to go really into detail on it, but it's going to sum it up really well. Now, going into this game it's a journey. It's a coming of age story, one that I've seen time and time again. But Aloy's story is kind of different, especially when it starts with her being shunned from her clan. Like, she grew up shunned from her clan. Now, we don't know why she's shunned, and neither about Rost, who is technically her guardian, kind of her father. But as we go on, we see that Aloy wants nothing to do with the clan. She just wants to figure out who her mother is, and to do that, she has to be one of the clan, but in her mind, she's like, I'm not at all with this clan. But Aloy ends up being pulled into the fight against Eclipse, who worship Hades. It's not the mythological figure, but rather an AI that allows them to corrupt machines. Now, I will go into detail about who is Hades and who is Gaia. Let's just keep going with the story. Aloy fights against the Peacekeeper machines, and those machines were partly created by Elizabeth Sobek, an overall scientist who inevitably led the fight against those things because they ended up turning against humanity. And in order to save the planet, she's in charge of the top secret Project Zero Dawn. Now, this is Elizabeth Sobek, not Aloy. So Elizabeth, she creates Gaia, an AI that's able to shut down Peacekeeper robots and make her own robots, which helps restore the Earth's biosphere. Well, in order to do that, the world has to completely start over. So she plans out keeping some humans inside these vaults that after a few years, or I think it was actually a couple hundred years, they're able to go out and repopulate the Earth again. So we end up seeing that Hades is actually Gaia's subsystem that would come in and start over the process just in case if humans kind of messed up again, which, okay, we humans don't have a great track record of doing the right thing. So Hades exists to start over humanity just in case if we mess up again. Later on, we see Aloy continues to fight the Eclipse and helping others with the small side quests and the major quests. So Aloy ends up being back in Nora territory and helps them both hold off the Eclipse so she can go down into the door side of Nora Mountain, where she sees that Gaia ended up self-destructing herself to stop Hades and made a clone of Dr. Elizabeth Sobek, which is Aloy. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. But she is Elizabeth Sobek, so she doesn't have a mother, but rather is a clone of Elizabeth. Gaia did that as a contingency plan, so Aloy, who again is the clone of Elizabeth, could find the message she left to stop Hades. But ultimately, Hades was awoken by the Eclipse, led by Silence, who is an ally of Aloy, but we later see that Silence was a part of the Eclipse. He was actually a founder of the Eclipse. So he ends up, I guess he turns back on them because they got pretty violent. He was like, nah, I ain't gonna do this. So he ends up gives her his lance to take down Hades, and you know, a big major fight. It's one of the best boss fights I've ever played. It's pretty intense. Like, it's not, you know, like those quick time events. No, it's like a straight up fight. So Aloy defeats Hades and brings back the hope of a brighter future for everyone. We later see Aloy go to Sobek's old home, and she finds her body there. And the monologue that we hear from Elizabeth when she's talking to Gaia, it's just really, really good. It brings up the theme that is, I guess, preached over and over again throughout the game. So I'm going to be ending the video with that scene. So wait for it, because I do want to play it. I do want you guys to see it because it's just really, really good. So all you guys got to do is just wait to the end of the video. Now I'm going to go into a little bit about what I liked and what I didn't like. Combat. It's really fluid. and it's really fun. Being able to switch from stealth into legit throwing bombs is just really fun to do. There's a lot of space to move, playing your tactics, and different ways to take down enemies, like various takedowns. Though I don't like that you had to unlock certain takedowns that would be useful in like the skill chart thing. For example, like the hanging takedown would have been really useful in the beginning of the game, because later on you rarely use it, and it's annoying because I had to like spend, I think it was like 3 skill points to get it, and then I like ended up not using it. Now dodging is another thing I like. It's got that Dark Souls feel to it, which is good, though it takes some time to get used to the various attacks that the machines have, because there's like different types of machines. Like there's like an alligator one that it's not the shape of an alligator. I'm letting you know, it's not the shape of an alligator, it's much bigger. So like they all have their own different attacks, so you have to get used to it. You have to know how wide that attack is to dodge the right direction. It takes some time. Also, switching between various arrows and weapons is really fast and easy to do, though it can get annoying to some. I've heard a lot of people, they don't like it, that because she has a wide array of arrows, like a lot. So like trying to pick the right one, you know, some people didn't like it. It didn't bother me, but I know to some they didn't like it. But on the run reloading, on the run crafting weapons is really well done. It comes really in handy. Also, there's a slow-mo effect that you can turn on, and it's really useful as well. Though I do admit, I try not to use it at times in some fights, and it makes shooting in slow-mo much more easier. Though sometimes I do mess up though, because I'm not the best. But it is a good skill to master. The RPG feel to it is really nice. You know, you're collecting certain objects, supplies. Some people send you on missions or quests to find like relics and stuff. There are some items I will admit you don't really need. Like I rarely use chill water, and there's another one I barely use, but I'm forgetting. And I had so many of it, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with it? I will recommend stock up on metal vessels and blaze. It's gonna come in handy because that's what you need to make like the bombs. And when you take on a peacekeeper, you take on some pretty big machines, so you really need to stock up on that stuff because you will run out. I think just to make one bomb, it's like 3 blaze and like 2 metal burns. So if you have like, imagine you got like 40 each, and you're taking on a huge peacekeeper, and those things eat up those bombs, like 80 of them in like 5 minutes. So it's good to stock up on that. And what I also noticed is that the armor that Aloy can put on, it's pretty cool because certain armor have weight to them. So you will notice when Aloy is running or jumping, like there's weight to it. Like she can't dodge as far, she's not running as fast. So it's really cool. So when you put on lighter armor, she'll dodge farther, jump higher, and run faster. So it's just really cool. But you know, you get more damage though. Again, guys, I mean, I love that little detail. But when I see developers focus on those little details, oh, it's great. I love it. It makes the game more fun. And again, like I love the little details. That's why I'm a big fan of Naughty Dog and like Rocksteady. Now the setting and the environments are really beautiful. This is a gorgeous game. I'm telling you, it's the setting, the atmosphere. It's just so beautiful, and it's one of the few games that take advantage of like the night and day format. So it's just, guys, it's really great. Now the music is beautifully composed and performed. Also, Julie Elvins, she's like the vocals and like the intro music. She's got a beautiful voice, and it gives that ominous but yet determined feel to it. The music is just great. It's really good. Okay, now the negatives. I did talk about some of the negatives and some of the things I didn't like, but one of the things I didn't like was a little bit of the combat. The melee, it's not great. The power swings are way too slow, and you don't really deal a lot of damage, to be honest. You'll notice in the gameplay, like I'm doing the heavy swings and it's not dealing a bunch of damage, and those swings look like brutal, but it's really slow. The damage is not there. It's not doing what it's supposed to. Also, I didn't like the climbing. You would have to look for highlighted ledges, and it does get annoying. Like the mechanics of it looks kind of clunky, and you can only jump on highlighted ledges, so it kind of takes away that survival feel to it, that rock climbing feel to it. Also, the buying one weapon at a time idea, I didn't like that either. Like I saved up a bunch of shards, but I had no weapons to buy. So like, and the weapons that were available were ones that you probably don't really need. Also, the AI of the enemies, it's not great, but it's alright. It's kind of good, but it's not out of this world AI, you know. The machines are way smarter than the humans. You know what? I think that's supposed to mean something. There's a joke somewhere. Whatever. But anyway, guys, that's what I think about the game. Now, I will be doing an outro for it, so that's next. And once I finish that outro, I will be putting the monologue, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, guys, well, this game is really good, and I have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I know you guys are saying, like, why is this so low? Okay, it's low because the graphics the face and everything, they're all right. They're not great. They're not like Mass Effect Andromeda creepy, but at times it does get a little bit unsettling. Setting and environment, I gave it a 10. It's perfect. Combat 8, like again, like with the swings, like where it should have felt like they were really powerful, they weren't. Some of the bows, they don't really do anything. Like you're really not going to use them, some of them at all. The story arc, it's pretty good. I give it a 9.5 because Aloy does get a little bit arrogant, and it's just like, all right, like, you know, chill out. And overall, everything else, that's why I'm giving it 8.5. The combat is the only thing hindering it, and that's it. But anyway, guys, this game is great. I really recommend you guys try it for yourselves. I know it's about probably like $40 to $40 right now at GameStop. So if you got that money in your pocket and it's just sitting there, go get this game, guys. It's great. You're gonna have a great time. But anyway, guys, I'm Joel. This is LatinGeeks. Thanks for watching.
Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV. So the grass caught fire. And, so did a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query. What did she say?
She said I had to care. She said, Elizabeth, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
If you had had a child, Elizabeth, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious. And willful, unstoppable, even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit. Anyway, that's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elizabeth.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.